So, hello, I'm today here with Jørn from Mayhem, and you wrote a book named in French Les Archives de la Mort or Death Archive. The book is out on Flaming Black Flames edition. And my first question is the name of the book is Mayhem 1984 1994. So I think it's the first volume, I guess, of the book.
Yes, you are right.
You will prepare.
I can collaborate. The let's begin it at the beginning. A lot of people, journalists, writers, and such have asked me over the years to write my book.
Mm-hmm.
And I always turn them down because I was thinking to myself, like, I can write a book when everything is over and done with, then we can write the book. But since this is, I mean, we're not even getting close to the end, and we're still going on, after almost 40 years. So I decided that maybe I should just divide it up in 3 books. So I can release the first one immediately, or and then the second one, and then the third one maybe will be after the ban is over and done with. So let's say we put it into the trilogy. So the first one released, and it says also on the book 84 to 94. Okay. So it's I divided it up into 3 because the first period I was thinking to end it with dead, when he committed suicide, and the next book would be when Maniac comes back in the band in 94, and then end it in 2005, which is 11 years, but almost.
Yes.
The same with the first book. It's actually up to 94. So it's now, well, fuck it. Anyway, so so the next book is going to be from 94 to 2005.
Okay.
When it's nice to end the chapter there with Maniac, and then Attila comes back in the band, and that would be the next chapter in the last book. So I'm working on the second edition now. But have been for a while. But I'm not in a hurry to, it's just something I do sometimes. I already have everything I need for it. I have, as people might know from reading the first book, it's shitloads of photographs. And it's more like a photo book accomplished by some texts to explain the photos.
Yes.
That's the same thing I'm going to do in the book number 2. But in book number 2, I'm not going to use any of the professional photographs that we have on the, this Metal Hammer, or, with the professional photographers. Because I have so much other photos that I have been taking myself. So the next book will be more, it's going to be the same type of thing, shitloads of photos, but it's going to be more photos I took myself, because then everybody, I don't want to publish photos that everybody has seen already, it's part of that. When it comes to, I don't know if that's maybe one of your questions, but I can jump straight into it anyway, is that I asked my publisher to try to sell it to as many countries as possible, inclusive France. So they did. They went on the book fairs and stuff, and didn't get anything. Except, and then they got the label of Thurston Moore,
Okay.
Yeah. So he released the English, um, book, and then since we hadn't managed to sell it to France, I had someone contacting me about releasing this book in French. So basically, that was the one who translated the book also.
Yes, it's translated by Virginie Binet.
Yeah, Virginie Binet. She called me and she said that this book should be out in French, blah, blah, blah. And I told her, well, I couldn't find anybody. So if you can find somebody, please go ahead. And then she got in touch with the Flame people. They
Yes.
wanted to release it in French. She translated it, and voila, there's Henge, the French version. Also with the French version, I included some extra stuff for the French readers. The book is translated in itself, in its whole, but I put in a French chapter.
Yes, the French Connection
The
chapter.
French Connection, right? Because I was just thinking to myself, fuck, I have the opportunity to do it. And that's a cool thing for the French readers to see what kind of French people and bands and stuff that I am into or I'm in contact with.
Yes. So do you have some feedbacks of Alexandre and Michael from Season of Mist and Aggressor?
Yes. The only thing I got back from them is I felt like Alex was he was happy about it. So I saw he posted some posts on social medias and stuff when he got the book, that he was pleased about that. Michael, Season of Mist, I have read that he have said that they participated in the book.
Yes.
I hope he's. I hope he also were happy about being asked to be featured. I mean, he used to. We were on Season of Mist for. Yeah, how many years was it? From 2000, no, from 1999 to. Yeah, it's 20 years or something.
And do you have some feedbacks about people you talk in the book, like Metallion, Napalm Death, the family of Dead, or Houston? Do you have some feedbacks after the book was released?
Yes, but not from them.
And
The only one that I heard, I have a lot of feedbacks, but from people who were actually featured, I can tell you one little story. I was down at my local supermarket,
yes,
and bumped into the mother of my old drummer's ex-wife. I know that sounds like stretchy, but I'm going to explain it now.
okay.
It's in the book. I have a picture of me, Øystein, and Malheim eating breakfast. Eating, I think it was toast with ketchup, and I had listed Malheim's, the drummer's ex-girlfriend, as the one who took the photo. But when I bumped into her mother, the mother of she said that congratulations with the book and stuff. By the way, it was not my daughter that took those photos for you guys. It was me. So I thought that was interesting, and then I corrected it in the next edition.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's a feedback. A little bit weird, in that way. I don't talk to Metallion. I don't think he talks to anyone these days. You know.
And
He's,
about your fans of Mayhem, do you have some feedbacks of them when you played in the Norwegian 2? Do you have some feedbacks about the books when you made the Norwegian 2?
Nah, not really. It's 7 years ago, you know, since the book came out, and so when it came back, when the book came out, it was a big deal here in Norway. 9 o'clock news came to my house. I got all the biggest papers had between 4 and 8 pages each. I was just fucking massive, and I was invited to all kinds of weird stuff. So it opened up a lot of new doors, actually, because the book, I mean, it's a different scene. You know, the music scene is there, but the book scene is over there, and the music books, and it's anyway. So the last 7 years after it's been out, I mean, I don't. Maybe some people come up to me sometimes, but you know, I forget about it. It's not like up top of my head, really. But I'm proud of it, and I think it's a hell of a fucking document.
Oh yeah, we saw beautiful picture, beautiful facts, funny facts about the band. It was really cool to read.
Thank you.
We just read some new things we never know before, so it's really cool to read that.
Yeah. Some of the idea also, you know, to talk about stuff you normally don't talk about in interviews and stuff, to make it a little bit interesting, but also interesting for myself, you know.
Yes.
But I think it's also important for the.
Oh, just my cat jammed on camera. Sorry.
No worries. Yeah, and it's also important for me to write it while I still remembered it, because this is started to get some years ago now, and my memory is fading. So I'm glad I had help from my ghostwriter, Svein Strømmen. He's a journalist, and he would remember stuff like I would remember. Let's say we played in Leipzig. He would remember the date, the venue, what kind of weather it was that day. You know, just like insane.
Oh.
Like super nerd with the details. So he filled in the details. And that's why I'm also looking forward to do the next book, because he was more into the years with Maniac. So it's gonna be the years. Also, his favorite album is Woosler Abyss, my ghostwriter. So I'm looking forward to get to start to work on this new album with the new book with him.
Okay.
And now that I have a French publisher, you know, it'd be easy to just call them and say, "Hey, we got a new one. You want it?"
Oh yes. Yeah, in the book you talk about Death Crush, and more especially the promotion of Death Crush. Now, do you prefer the old method to making promotion with physical contact, or now you prefer the new one method, just sending a mail and it's okay? Do you prefer the old one or the new one?
Yeah, I think both has got. There's good things about both of them. Back in the day, we didn't know anything else. There was no internet or anything like that, so we just did it without thinking about it. Now I think you can choose. Now you can choose to meet people. You can have a Zoom link, but it was more intense back in the days. You know, when I met people, and it was much more. how to say,
Friendly.
it was, at that time it was an adventure because we were walking up a path that nobody had been walking up before. So we were
Yeah.
kind of making our new paths and, finding it out ourselves. So it was a completely different environment and everything was. So I don't know if I guess I preferred that then, but now I prefer this because now I can reach out to so many more people and just be sitting here in my home sofa, which is much more relaxing than if I should go down to the border of Belgium and, all the fucking COVID tests and all this shit,
Oh, just the COVID made that very difficult now.
I was supposed to be in France doing a promo tour for the book when it came out. Of course, we had to cancel all of that. So, fuck knows when we're gonna be able to do it.
Oh yeah, we wait to see if we can make the Hellfest and some festival in Belgium. So it's very difficult. We have a lot of cancellation about cancer. It's crazy.
Yeah.
When you wrote the book, how do you felt? Nostalgic, happy, enthusiastic?
Yeah. When I was writing the book, I started to realize that it wasn't that easy. I thought we're gonna just do it quickly. And but when we sat down and started to do it, it was much more work than I thought, and we used much more time. So in where you would think when the question you said you were how I was feeling, then I forgot to feel anything because it was a lot of work while we were doing it. And then when it came out, of course, it was great. The more work you put into it, the more satisfaction it is when it's released. I got good reviews all over too, but I mean, that doesn't really matter as long as I am happy.
No, yeah.
So that's the most important thing. And but it was well received, and it opened up a lot of new doors for me, which was cool. I got to meet a lot of new people that I probably wouldn't have met without this. So, but then again, I knew that it was a new area for me. So
Yeah, new experience of.
Yeah. So different. I mean, I'm into publishing albums and releasing albums and stuff, but publishing books is a different world. It's not the same. There are some similarities, but yeah. So so it's cool to have stepped into that world too. So and I'm also going to continue writing books. I also was, tell you the truth, I was trying to write a book 25 years ago.
Oh.
But it wasn't about Mayhem. It was about the book was going to be called Necrologues, like playing with my name.
Yes.
But also, necrologues is what people write about you in the paper when you die. Like an obituary.
Yes.
Yeah. But to play with my name, play with the artist name, Necrobutcher. So instead of using obituary, you can use necrologue, which is the English. It's the Norwegian word of obituary, but you can also translate it. So the book, the idea I had was that grew up in a rough neighborhood. And a lot of people I knew died young. So then I started to have this idea that all these car thieves and speed freaks and hell racers, nobody wrote anything in the papers when they died.
Yes.
And I was thinking to myself, wow, you know, these people, they would deserve a obituary. You know, it's normally the people who achieve a lot of stuff, you know, they are professors that did that, and you know, so people write it in an obituary, did this and that and helped out, blah blah blah. But these other criminals and crazy people, they don't get any obituaries, you know. So I thought to myself, like, when I knew around 100 people who died, to write a book and obituaries with all the, you know, a little story about everybody. That idea I still have with me.
And do you wanted to write it more and want to publish it in few years later?
Yeah, it's one of the book ideas I have. So I have 2 more books with Mayhem, but I have also this other book idea about writing about my dead friends. It's gonna be black humor. You know, I use black humor to shield myself from all the shit. You know, like how can you cope without humor? You know, in this world, you have to have a sense of humor.
Oh, yes.
Otherwise, especially when you're dealing with this stuff like we are doing, you know, like it's not love songs. It's songs about struggle and darkness, evil, you know, the dark side of life.
Yes, dark atmosphere.
And then you would need humor. They say that, you know, the people who have the sickest humor is the people who are working in the morgue. Or the people working at you know, in the cellar of the hospital, you know.
Oh yeah.
With the dead bodies and stuff. These people need a sick sense of humor to maintain the, you
mental
know,
health. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the same for me in a way, you know. So yeah.
Yes, I think live in this very dark atmosphere, lost your friends when they're young. It's very complicated to doing your mental health normal. So doing humor is a good way to stay alive. So
yes.
In this period, do you have some song with Mayhem or other bands you never released in this period?
Yes, but the thing is that when you are a band and you write some songs, and then you try them out, and maybe some of the riffs are not strong enough and you feel like changing something. So if you write a song, we don't scrap it. It's always something in that song that we're gonna use in another song, let's say. So you don't scrap songs in that sense. And but there's one song that we never released with Maniac, and that was the first song we ever wrote with Blasphemer and Maniac in 1994 or maybe 1995. It's called Anno Vampiri. It was on a rehearsal tape or something, and then it was released by some bootleggers, I think. I'm not sure if it ended up in any of our releases. I don't think so. So yes, there's one song, but I think it's actually out.
Okay.
So no, so it means we have released everything we ever made.
On the book, you said that you're making a collection. You bought some vinyl. Now, are you still doing a collection now?
Yeah, I am. First of all the releases that we have that are official, I try to make the record company send me copies for my collection of that. Sometimes when they license out to a different company, like for example, the Grand Decoration, no, I think it was Chimera, was licensed out to a Greek label. They released the picture disc, yes, but failed to set like 1,000 copies or something, and then poof, sold out, and I never got a copy. So even of official releases, sometimes they don't send me, even if we have a contract saying that we need, let's say, 25 copies for the band or something. So it's from there. When it comes to bootlegs, I'm not that fucking happy about buying bootlegs from my own band. It's very irritating.
It's normal.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I bought some of them too, but not all of them, and I'm not gonna go into buying all of them too, because it's like I have a friend that has over 400 albums of Mayhem.
Oh.
So it means that 300 of them are bootlegs. So just that guy has 300 bootlegs. Just to put it in perspective. He doesn't have everything, you know, so who fuck knows how much it is. So we are also Norway's most bootlegged band. But there is a reason.
Why? What is the reason?
Because we are the best band in the fucking world.
Yeah, sure.
And the second reason is that the second reason, which is more true, is that after Øystein died, I had an issue with the rights of my own songs, because we didn't think we were gonna die, you know, so we didn't register our songs. We thought to ourselves, we were writing on the albums like bootlegs will be revenged, you know, like we will find you yourself, and then we will fucking punish you. We'll fucking beat you up. You know, you steal from us, okay, we'll come and beat the fuck out of you.
Oh, it's crazy.
So that was the mentality. And then Øystein died, and then this record company from Oslo took over, and then I had big problems getting the songs registered right and stuff. And these people didn't give a fuck about protecting. They stole the rights for Death Crush and Mysterious. The Mysterious, they have the rights because they helped Øystein out with some money. But for the Death Crush, they pretty much stole it. So since they didn't own the right, bootlegs started to come out. They didn't own the right, so they couldn't stop it. They didn't tell me about it either. And since we were left in the limbo, so I blame the record company here in Norway for not taking care of our interests. And then we became the most bootleg band because everybody could bootleg us, and there was nobody give the fuck about it. So I started to take these bootlegs to the rights holding organization and myself, you know, but it didn't help, because it's not the right way of doing it. It has to go through the record company that owned the record, and in this case, since they didn't own the record, there was already a fuck up. So that is one of the reasons. Okay, so the reason is we are good, we are legendary, and the fact that nobody could stop it.
Oh yeah. when we see on the net, we just tap Mayhem, we just go to shopping, and we
Yeah.
see some bootlegs,
Well,
many
everywhere.
bootlegs.
Everywhere. Even pictures of my late vocalist after he killed himself. And people, and what makes me really fucking mad is that people actually think we have anything to do with that release. You know, they think we released this shit. It's unbelievable. Yeah. It's also unbelievable that people who have record stores, they order this. Everybody who has a half of a brain cell know that this is not just a fucking bootleg. This is, when in English, the English word is, also, it's to also this misusing a picture of a dead human being. It's a word for it, and it's illegal as fuck. I mean, so why the fuck people do it? The record stores and everything. Why they still keep on fucking ordering this? First of all, they know when they're ordering it from some kind of weird fucking record company. They know that we are not on that record company. What the fuck? They're still ordering it. Still, you know. So,
and plus they sell that to for many, just more than €100, and
yeah,
it was just crazy.
Yeah.
And what do you think of the current black metal or metal scene?
I think it's really fucking good that our fans, it's not even enough for them just to listen to Mayhem and listen to Dark Throne and these bands. They have to start their own fucking band too.
Nice.
That's how dedicated. Our fans are so dedicated that it's not enough for them just to listen to the music. They have to start a band. They have to start to work in the radio show.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Exactly.
Yes.
So people get so into this shit that that I'm not even surprised anymore, because I've seen it's been like this for so many years now, that this kind of music, people are so dedicated to this kind of music. It's not like people who listen to pop music. People who listen to pop music and shit, they don't even fucking buy the physical records. They just download it.
They stream the album and it's okay.
They don't give a fuck, you know. They don't know where it's recorded, which musicians are in, who is the artist who made the designs and all that stuff. You know, they don't give a fuck about, because it's, you know, it's just like boompa boompa boompa. But our people, they love to get all the information. They love to have the vinyl, you know, smell it, look at it, nerd out with, you know, oh, this is recorded in 4 different studios, blah blah blah, you know, like writing the lyrics and all that stuff. So I feel privileged to have this kind of fans that are so fucking into it, and they're more and more and more. It's just growing and growing and growing. And I've been in the scene for many years, and I've seen all the trends come. Different types of music: punk rock, heavy metal, thrash metal, speed metal, glam metal, all that. All of that has gone down or disappeared the last 30 years. The black metal and the extreme music is the only way of heavy metal that has had this gradual uphill.
Oh yeah.
Going up, while we see all the other things just fade out and disappear. like glam rock and
Oh
all
yeah.
that came, disappeared, came back again, disappeared again.
When we prepare the radio show, we just open the mail, the label sends some mail,
Yeah.
and 9 of 10 is black metal band. We just receive some black metal man. It's
Unbelievable
crazy.
how it been. You know, we started, you know, there was just a few bands. We knew all of them in our, you know, like by hand, you know, like I could mention all the black metal bands, you know, we'd be like, you had Schizo, Bulldozer, SS, Death SS, you know, in Italy. Then you have Aggressor, Load Blast in France. Then you had Napalm Death, Venom. You know, some few bands in England. Then you have Baffer in Sweden, Merciful Fate in Denmark. Some bands just start to come out in Poland, like Vader, Behemoth. From Switzerland, you have Celtic Frost. From Greece, you have
Rotten
Rotten
Christ,
Christ.
yes.
You know, like in the beginning, it was just some few bands, and everybody know them. Everybody knew, you know, there was 3-4 bands from here, 3-4 bands from there. And then from there and to where it's today, it's a hell of a fucking journey, tell you. And this is just because people are so dedicated into this that they have to start their own bands. Now there are, how many bands do you think play this kind of music? Thousands and thousands of bands.
Oh yes,
Which is great as fuck. It is the best thing that could happen.
yes, and we have some other genres in black metal, just melodic black metal. Just we start with black metal, and we have some kind of different genres.
Yeah.
Symphony black metal,
Yeah.
suicidal depressive black metal. Just it's very crazy to see
Yeah.
the evolution. I think in metal, more especially in metal, we have some. It's the type of music with many genres.
Mm.
Every year we see a new genres come out.
Yeah, that's because somebody from a different musical background suddenly gets into black metal, and then they emerge it with what they do. Just like what you saw with even with jazz, you know, like with The Shining here in Norway.
Yeah.
or you know, Dimmu Borgir with the symphonic stuff, and Napalm Death with the hardcore stuff. You wouldn't say, okay, Napalm Death is not black metal. That's wrong. But yeah, the diversity is crazy. And when you think it can't go any further, boom, something that turns up that you never thought about. So the latest thing is this Viking stuff that took off as fuck. So that's great. It keeps the music alive when people reinvent it this way.
Yes, it's infinite. We cannot see what we see in the future. New genres. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We talk about music. What is the favorite song you listen? What is the favorite song you listen of all time?
Wow. This is questions you can never ask a musician, you know. That's just too much. Music is my life. Music is the soundtrack to everything I do. Everything I say, think, do has something related to music. I am also varying, you know, mood. I like this kind of music when I'm in this kind of mood. I'm this different, and you know, and it changes a little bit from year to year. But there's some bands that have been with me ever since I heard them, and I still listen to them. Some of them almost on a daily basis, and I can't pick out any song because that would be just not fair. would be too, it wouldn't make sense. But I would say I could pick out some bands.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Some bands that I still listen to after I discovered them, like for example Beastie Boys. I discovered them when Rick Rubin put the Slayer guys on, Kerry King on their album. License to Ill came out in '87. I followed that band. Still listen to it on a daily basis because they're all from punk rock to rap to funk, instrumental rhythm sections and stuff. They have 2 instrumental albums, which is probably their best, and that's from one side of another band that been with me since I first heard them in mid '80s is Napalm Death. They changed out some members and stuff.
Yes.
But I guess that since Shane is main songwriter, there's something about the way he thinks. I mean, kind of are. I understand him, so it must be something that we similarities in taste of music and the brutality and the aggressiveness and stuff. So Napalm Death is another band. Let's see, another band would be Voivod.
Voivod, yes.
Discovered them in 1984. Been a big fan ever since. I also like the way they evolved. Let's say, and there's some other bands that I don't listen to every day, but suddenly I feel the urge to listen to some old Stones, to some old Talking Heads, Depeche Mode.
Oh yes, GM, very good.
I'm a GM fan. And then, but I'm more traditional. I like to listen to a lot of traditional death metal, like Death, 6 Feet Under,
Obituary.
yeah, maybe not Obituary, but more, I would say, Master, Paul Beckman. Yeah, Death. Also like punk, like Kennedy's, Chaotic Discord. Some of the old bands from England, like Extreme Noise Terror. The side bands of this Napalm Death side bands that they had. Chaos UK and these things. Also, I'm very varied in my music. The latest artist I picked up, for example, is an artist who calls himself Ghostman.
Oh, Ghostman, yes, I listen some of his songs, very cool.
Yeah.
A mix of rap music and metal. Just
rap and black metal. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Normally I should to see it in Brussels, in Belgium, but the show was cancelled.
Yeah, but isn't Ghostman playing at the Hellfest this year?
He played in Hellfest, but he cancelled. Yes. He not appears in the Hellfest this time.
Now, see how I got into him was that somebody sent me.
If you like Ghostman, you should listen to Skull. It's an English. He made crazy songs with crazy energy.
But I would have to tell you something about Ghostman is that somebody sent me his music and said, "Hey, did you know that this guy has ripped off your riff?" So I listened to it, and he had ripped off the mysterious, no, I mean the Freezing Moon main riff, put it into his song, and he also had a couple of other things, but it was from our first demo from Pure Fucking Armageddon.
No.
So I was thinking to myself, yeah, two things actually from on the last album. So I felt like, wow, okay, this is interesting now. You know, like somebody used our music in a different way, and it was also almost like wasn't sampled, but it was played exactly how we did, but just with other type of instruments, obviously. And then because of that, I started to listen back to the whole album. That was the last, the Anti-Icon album.
Anti-Icon, yes.
Yeah. And then I downloaded all the albums, you know, just to listen back to anything if he stole more. Not stole, I would like to say, got inspired.
Oh yeah. This my
And,
favorite of him is Noise.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't like everything. Some of it doesn't appeal to me, but there is altogether in all the albums, I would say maybe it's 6-7 songs on the seven or eight albums that he released that I really like. So I'm still open for new music, but I'm limited because when I want to listen to music, it's not like I start to search for new music. I pick out some of my old favorites, you know, and it's limited time you have in the day to listen to music. So when you go to pick something that you know you already like, you don't have much time to listen to new music. So when people ask me, you know, about if I buy music and what kind of bands I'm into and stuff, I tell them that I let maybe 1 or 2 bands in every year, max.
Oh.
But then I listen to it extensively, like a lot, you know. Like I told you, like with the Ghostman, I downloaded all the 8 albums immediately and had them on replay for a half a year.
I really like Ghostman.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you like good music, so that's good. Yeah. So that's just to tell you how diverse I am. But when I make music myself, this aggressive, negative stuff comes out.
Yes, you never sing to make other bands with other music genres.
Not really. No.
Just you listen some different genres, but you still make aggressive.
Yeah. Still the same aggressive guy. And when I'm listening to other things, you know, like for example, I listen to other aggressive bands. There is like, let's say a song is divided up in 3-4 different. You have the chorus, you have the verse, you have the in betweens and stuff. And in a song, I might like the main riff or the bridge over to the next riff or something. Maybe I don't like the whole thing. But for myself, when I make music, I always like everything.
Oh, yes.
If you know what I mean. So, but then again, I haven't written that much music the last years because I have great songwriters in my band, which is better than myself. That's why we hire them too.
Yes.
You know, like so. But I'm glad to inform you that on the last album, I was allowed to write one lyric. So I did, and that's the Bad Blood.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
For the book, if will you offer the opportunity of doing your book into a film or a TV show, will you accept it?
No. And that's because there's been so many movies and so many documentaries about us. And now after Hollywood did the Lords of Chaos, and the Norwegian TV did a very long and great documentary called Helvete, Hell, released on NRK, on the national TV here, last year. 4 episodes. The first 2 episodes mainly about Mayhem, because we started it here.
Yes.
And then they introduce all the other bands, Dimmu Borgir, Satyricon, Darkthrone, Enslaved, Immortal, you know, and all this Gorgoroth and everything else. And then it comes into chapter 4, and then we kind of close the chapters, you know. And when I looked at that, maybe you should put a link.
Oh yes,
To
if you
your
have
program. It's called Helvete.
the shop of Hieronymus. Yes.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
If I can
So-
find it, and I just search
yeah.
on the net.
Just to give your listeners, you know, to understand what I'm talking about, they can check that out. And here comes my answer. The answer is, now that it's already come out on the Hollywood movie, all the documentaries, and now topped it with this great fucking documentary that our national TV has made, I don't feel any urge to make any more. It's already done. I don't think I can make it better. And then if I can make it better, then I don't, you know. And that story has been told so many times now that I'm not gonna do anymore. I'm not gonna sell the rights for the book to be released on film,
Yes.
because it's done.
And yes, in France, more especially in Belgium, in documentary or film, the most famous one was Lord of Chaos.
Mhm.
And do you have the opportunity of regard of the movie? You just you can. What did you think about your character in the movie?
I think he did a good job. He had studied me. So it was weird to see somebody who is playing yourself, dressed up as you, same type of hair, same fucking mustache and everything. And I think that Jonathan, his name, did a good job on that. And I think the movie in itself was an incredible hype before it came out.
Ah, yes.
Everybody was like, woo, you know, and everybody called me, and I told them, let me at least watch it first, and then I can give you some comments later. And then what happened when the movie came out, nobody called me. And I know the why. Because just like when I saw it myself the first time, this is not a movie you go out of the cinema happy, like, woo, great movie. No, it's a sad fucking movie.
Oh yes, when I saw it both, and it was, yes, I just feel strange, just feel sadness and
Yeah, exactly. Felt strange, felt sad. That's great. Exactly, you just captured it, and exactly that's what everybody, all the journalists, they got the same as you. So there was no reason to call me and bother me with this. They knew that I was already struggling with this, you know. And then, like, you know, and it wasn't any pleasant at all. It wasn't any questions, you know. It told a story, and I mean, so I think that people like they saw it, and then they took one step back actually, and thought,
yeah.
okay, this is, we don't want to mess more with this now, you know. So if it was some kind of funny story or happy story or something, yeah, there might be room for more interviews and stuff. But like you said, the same with me. I felt like numb. I was like sad, numb. I felt like empty inside after
Yes.
I seen it. I was like, ooh, you know. And then I talked to the guy who made the movie, Jonas Åkerlund. Yeah, I had a couple of meetings with him. That and what he told me that to make it as authentic as possible, they had used the autopsy report of the two murders of Øystein and the guy up in the park. That, for example, they were stabbed around 30 times each. And so according to the autopsy report, they can tell where the stabbings came first, how deep they were, you know, where they were placed.
Yes, we feel this really realistic and cold atmosphere.
Yeah.
Just they put the scene, they put the camera, no music, nothing. Just we shoot to see it, and don't say anything more. It's just really strange.
So they reconstructed the murders by following the autopsy report. That's why, you know, they try to make it as real as possible, you know, and they knew that people were gonna react, and then they said, like Jonas said, murder with a knife is very messy, it's very fucking brutal, and it's very personal, and he wanted to show that. Not like you stab somebody and you shoot somebody, they go down, finished. No, you don't go down. Even when you shoot somebody, you don't go down immediately.
Yes,
It takes some time to fucking die.
Ah, yes, that remember me a book I read about. Is the transcription of the interview of murder named Ed Camper.
Yeah.
And in the interview, he said, I should to stab the woman since she took like 8 minutes to die.
Yeah.
And it was really frightening to read that.
Yeah.
How the last Norwegian 2 happened? Do you have some facts about it?
Yeah, I can tell you about it. We released the Demon album in 19, set off on the world tour, as we normally do, you know, to promote the album. It's about 200 concerts. And so we did Europe, we did Russia, and some of the countries, like, we can't do the tour bus, you know, like Cyprus, Ukraine, Russia, Turkey, Israel. So we did that. Then we were ready to go to the US, come over to US, and then the day before the gig starts, the whole fucking thing closed down. That's almost 2 years ago. So we come home, there's nothing going on for 2 years, and then we are able to do the Norwegian part of the Demon tour.
Yes.
In the end, because of the COVID, we can't travel, but they open up in Norway. So we had 9 concerts, all the major places in Norway. We set out, did it, and then 3 days before we're gonna do the last gig in Oslo at our favorite venue, the Rockefeller. They fucking canceled the whole fucking thing, shut down the country again. So the 8 concerts we did do was great. It was great to play home again. We are proud of the album, and it sounds great. People were happy to see it. Only got good reviews. And so we put up the last show now, the 27th of February, also in 4 weeks from now.
Yes.
So I hope it's... The government was going to come up with a new press conference on Tuesday to see if we open for gigs or not.
Yes, we have the same in Belgium, just called Codeco, and we just stay on TV Friday and just wait to watch if we can go to cinema and do normal thing.
And exactly.
Do you have now a last word for your fans? People who read a book?
Yes, absolutely. For any out there who didn't get their hands on the Death Archives, I mean, it's already out in French too. So, but the thing is, what I wanted to tell you is, I knew that this question was going to come up, but the answer is that, first of all the listeners that are tuning into this program, they know English, and the crazy fans from France and Belgium, they already have the English book. They didn't wait for the French edition because they couldn't wait. They already bought it. So these are the people who are gonna listen into this show anyway. The people who only speak French wouldn't tune into this show, so they wouldn't have any. And my French sucks. Parle non français, or how to say it. So I can only say swear words like le chet and stuff like that. And that's not the last words you wanted. But no. So I mean, I know you guys already have it, but just a friendly reminder that it's out in the additional the Flame publisher.
Flammes Noires, yes.
Flammes, yeah. So the last thing would be, when you guys open up for business again and for normal travels, I will come down and do a little promotion tour, take some books with me, and we'll come down to some local bookstores, record stores, travel a little bit around, meet people, sign their book, and eat Belgian waffles and Leffe beer and and go to France and eat escargots and all that good stuff. Yes.
Okay, so many thanks to accept this interview.